What's up, you guys? James Strickland here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I know I am. So welcome to another recap video. This week, I've got a couple exciting things on tap. Today is going to be bench day. We got 540 pounds for a set of 5. This is going to be 15 pounds shy of my best 5 rep PR, which is 555. So I'm building up. If you guys have been following the channel for any length of time, you kind of know how the training goes. It pyramids up. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please go ahead and smash that like button. Share this video with your friends and definitely subscribe because I've got some really cool stuff to bring you guys. Obviously, you can go back and check out some of the other training videos, but right now is what I'm excited about. A lot of guys have been asking me, how do I feel about this road to 700 pounds? I'm freaking excited, man. This is what it's all about. It's the journey. You guys that have been asking me where I've been and things like that, you guys are pumping me up because I have been in the trenches working what I need to work, working the weaknesses. Last year, I hit 2 PRs on my rep PRs, topped out at a 650 pound bench press, which wasn't my best, but considering I'm a few years older than what I was when I did the 672, it puts me in a good position to go ahead and take that next step and step the training up. A couple of different meets. At the end of last year, I went full power, kind of, basically a couple things fell apart, and that's what happens sometimes. But very excited. This training cycle, I'm about 4 weeks or so into, and I'm taking it slow this time. Instead of getting excited when I get around this rep range, when I start hitting PRs on reps, I start feeling like, oh man, we could really go for it now, and I start planning on a meet too soon. And so basically what I did last training cycle is I would hit like 500 for, I think it was 501 for 8, which was a PR, which I just busted that wide open a couple weeks back with the 503 for 8. Then I hit a 520 for 6, which was a 10 pound PR just recently. So when I did this kind of thing last training cycle or last year, because my training cycles don't happen in 8 and 12 weeks. They are 6-month, 1-year cycles because it takes me that long to build up from 450-ish for reps all the way up to 700 or whatever. So you're not going to see me going from like 500 pounds to a 700 pound bench attempt in 2 or 3 months. It takes 6 months sometimes for me to put this together. So that's why these training cycles look like they take forever. It's because you guys that are in the 300 pound range or even 200 pounds or whatever, or maybe even 400 pounds, your training cycles can be short and sweet. And boom, you hit your next meet within a couple of weeks, it feels like. With me, it's years sometimes before I'm ready and primed for that next meet because something might fall apart or I might do a full power meet. But, with all of it said, I do appreciate you guys asking about me and kind of seeing where I'm at. If you follow me on Instagram at Swimhack, then you kind of see what happens on a week-to-week basis. YouTube, it's a little more of a video production to put this stuff out for you guys, so it takes some time to really put together the story. But that's where we're at. So today we got 540 for 5. Then we're going to have probably around the 650 range for squat a couple days later. And then I'm going to be working to about 735, 745 or so on deadlift. We'll see how that works. But I'm keeping legs in the mix right now because it feels good. As soon as and bench is my primary goal. If I can hit a pretty heavy deadlift for, maybe an 800 pound deadlift in a meet without it being taken away from the bench, that's what I'm going to do. And I really feel like I'm well-rounded lifter all year round, which also makes me feel better for bench. So I'm trying to play it careful. I don't want to go and do like some crazy deadlift and put my training off for bench, but I do have some goals with deadlift and squat and full power. So stay tuned. But with all that said, I've hit a couple of training PRs in the last few weeks, and they've basically got me excited to where I feel like, oh man, I could probably go, 585 for a few reps right now, and then 600 for a few reps. Well, that's peaking me a little earlier than I would like. So if you guys want to follow this along, basically what I'm doing is going to go for 540 for 5 this week. If that feels good, then go for 550 next week. Even though 555 is where I want to be or above, I'm going to take an extra week and then go for maybe 560 for 5. And if that goes well, I'll continue on until I can't go anymore with 5s. And even if I fail at 570 for 5, it's still a win because I got a 560 or 565, whatever it is. And then I'm going to go probably to a set of 4 and try to get a PR on that. And then when I start working my way forward, and this might be 3 months before I get to this point right here, but that's the patience and that's the longevity of the cycle. Is when I'm in the 3s, my current best, which was last training cycle, which was 607 for 3, would probably be in the range of 610 for 3. And that would give me a good shot at 620 or 636 right now for 2 was last training cycle. So if I can get 650 for 2, that would be a huge win, which sets me up for a great big opener for a meet. And then I can go like maybe 675 for a double, and then boom, I'm in 700 territory. But all in all, I have to keep each of those weeks in check, because if I don't feel something feels right, I'm going to shut it down and walk away and come back and fight another day. So that will elongate that training cycle. So what I would be at right now, had I felt really good when Baptiste came over from France, that 518 for 2, or for 3, ended up not being the 518 for 6 that I wanted. So the next week I took the 520 for 6, and that was basically replacing that week. So not that first week 518 was a bust, but it gives me an extra week in my training cycle. And so if I fail a couple of lifts in this training cycle, or I don't hit what I need to hit early on, I'm going to just extend it 1 by 1 week. So that might easily take what would be 4-month training cycle into a 5-month training cycle. And so see how this time can go on really fast. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm really excited. I will try to do a little bit more of the on-screen video recaps from now on. I'm gonna tell you the truth, it's really tough to kind of get the time to produce these. So when you guys don't see me on screen, don't think that I'm not caring about you guys. It's just, it is a big production. It takes me, an hour or so to do the video editing at least. And sometimes when I've got a lot of volunteering stuff going on, I got 3 businesses, I got 3 kids, all that stuff, and I'm training, I've got a little bit of time that I've got to manage. So that's why you guys don't see these big production videos coming out as often, just because I don't have a team like some of these big influencers do to produce the videos for them and to shoot them for them, and I don't have a crew following me around. So this is really just me doing it. So honestly, it's a little weird to set up the camera for every single set and then walk over, and then it's basically like I want to just train sometimes, so I don't always want the camera on. But I definitely want you guys to see the big sets, the big things, and then I can come back every now and then and do these recaps and kind of give you some insight. But with that said, if you guys ever have questions about what I'm doing training-wise, rep ranges, how I'm feeling, definitely find me over on Instagram for sure. Even if you don't have an Instagram account, you can at least see it through a browser. But if you have questions, just shoot me an email, swimhack@gmail.com. Leave a comment down here and shoot me something like that, and I will definitely answer you with those, and or maybe I'll even put them on the recap. But let's dive on into bench day. As always, I don't normally show the warm-ups from the real light stuff that I do. I normally just jump right into 315. That's not how I warm up. Even with like deadlifts and stuff, I'm not starting at 500 or whatever the video shows. It's mostly just, that's where the last couple of warm-ups, just to kind of get you guys into the video. But I always start with like arm circles and bands, and I roll out on a PVC pipe. And that's normally, no matter what I'm doing, arms, legs, whatever, I always like to just be flexible all over and be warm. And then I start with the bar, and then I go 135, 225, 315, and then I start the video normally. So keep that in mind when you guys are looking at your own training and how to warm up. I never, ever, ever go into a set cold, ever. Never. Just never. But anyways, let's jump on into bench day, and I hope you guys enjoy this video.
still going, both dollars, in my wallet. I gotta show up, I gotta blow up. Cranking till a nigga throw up, watch it slow up. Worldwide and represent outside. The home ballers, represent the crowd. Niggas denied, I put it down for them. Fight, M is slim, with some fun with them. M on some real devil, right, shit.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to day 2. Gonna be heading over to Bona Fitness, and this is a gym that I have supported here in Katy, Texas for a long time, number of years. It's actually owned by a friend of mine, Keith Scruggs. just really good quality equipment. You guys may notice when we get there that it is a very familiar place. I've done a lot of squats and deadlift days there. I've done a few bench days. It's been a few years now that I've got the ghost rack and the ghost equipment. I don't really venture out too much. Occasionally you'll see me over there maybe benching, but I like to bench at home. I might, no promises, but I might bench there in the next few weeks on my heavy days coming up, just because I like to get just a little different feel, you know, with the standard plates, pound plates versus kilogram plates. It's kind of weird. I used to love benching on standard plates, hated kilogram plates. Then I switched and started benching, or honestly lifting in general, on the kilogram plates and favoring them, and not liking the standard plates for whatever reason. I guess you just get used to what you're on and kind of favoring them. Now I'm kind of back to, you know, maybe going kind of back to the roots just to change it up a little bit and training a little bit more on standard plates, and then going with kilogram plates for the meets and closer to competition. You know, just a side note, some ideas behind that is, one, kilogram plates are in fact exactly what you put on the bar, and that's good and bad. I think the good is obviously, you know, you're not putting too much weight that you're not ready for. The bad is if you happen to be a mental lifter like me and you have a certain amount on the bar, that's the effort that you're gonna typically put into it. And you know, even being an elite lifter, I'm kind of guilty of that, where if you tell me X is on the bar, I'm going to put X amount of effort into it, versus just bringing it all max effort, not maxing out, but max effort all the time. So I think just looking at some old videos of mine when I used to train on standard plates, the intensity was a little bit more, not reckless, but just, I think it might have been because I wasn't real sure if 45 pounds was 45 pounds or if it was 46 or 48, meaning the whole bar weighed more, hence training heavier and not even knowing it. But just a side note, obviously train smart, you know, don't be stupid in your training. You know, don't go and throw 50 pounds extra on the bar just because you want to see if you can do it and fight your mental barrier. But you know, off that little soapbox rant, kind of side note. But anyways, excited. I did my bench day that you guys just watched on Monday, so I'm back to a Monday schedule, at least until it gets super heavy. It kind of took me a few weeks to get to that. I benched on a Saturday with Batiste when he was down here from France, and it took me a couple of weeks, 3 weeks exactly, to get back to a Monday schedule. And so we're here on Wednesday. I have some other stuff going on in the week. My daughter is going to be at a play on Thursday and Friday, so I'm absolutely not going to train those afternoons, and I'm busy in the morning. So I only have today as an option. So I'm a little bit sore from bench. My lats are sore, just, you know, stretching a while ago and just kind of reaching behind my head. My lat kind of locked up. So hopefully it doesn't bother me on deadlifts. It shouldn't bother me on squats. Not really set on a certain number today. I did work up to what, 645 last week, and 725 for some reps, singles on deadlift. So this week I would like to go north of both of those numbers, keeping squats in the mix for singles, not working up super heavy as far as effort, or weight being maximum effort. But I'd like to hit, you know, 650 today. I think would be a solid number to hit on a little bit of a time crunch. So I'm probably going to go in and just hit my squat, hit my deadlifts, and then probably just a couple accessories on legs and get the heck out of there. But I'd like to go maybe 735 to 745 for some singles on deadlift. I think that would put me in a good spot training wise. But just to note, if anything feels off today, I'm not too proud to shut it down and then move on to the next lift, or shut it down completely and walk out. I did that a few times last training cycle. In fact, I'm kind of known for that. I would much rather shut it down and live to fight another day, If it feels good, I'd like to ride that wave. So we're going to see what happens here. I would like to get you guys' feedback on some future videos. I'm kind of getting away from the standardized recap videos, as you guys have probably seen. I like the short and sweet and to the point, but occasionally I like to get into the nitty gritty and get into the weeds with you guys and just kind of maybe answer some questions. So if you guys have questions for me, please leave them in the comments. Shoot me an email, swimhack@gmail. That's a good spot for me to really have lengthy conversations versus like DMs or comments and things like that. But anyways, we're about to pull up here to the gym here, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tour before I get started, and then we'll just see how the day goes. Here we go. Bona Fitness. Woo! All right, leg day is complete. Feel pretty good about that. I didn't go as heavy on squat as I was anticipating. Give you a little background because I haven't done any voiceovers recently. Just you guys real quick. Basically, last week on my top set of squat, or last heavy day, last week obviously I didn't do squats or deadlifts, kind of deloaded it, mostly because my knee was bothering me on the top set of squats on the 645 the previous week. So I've got traffic, so I'm gonna pause you guys real quick, make sure safe driving first. As my Texas Power Bars squat and deadlift are bouncing around in the back here. So I basically, I worked up to the 645, and on that one, I felt my knee give a little bit. Just lost positioning in it, just lost tightness. So gonna be working on some extra band work to do some basically extensions and things like that on the, just around the knee to kind of give those ligaments some needed work, just to kind of keep that knee safe. But the knee was a little bit sore, so I took last week as kind of a break for squats. Just decided to go ahead and do the same with deadlifts just because I hadn't deloaded in a while, and that was kind of a good thing. Bench didn't really feel like I needed a deload, so I didn't deload that. But today, it didn't look like anything on film. You probably couldn't even tell, but that 600 or the 595 was my last squat. It went great. It felt good. It felt pretty easy. But as soon as I racked it, I felt my knee kind of just not happy. So the last thing I want to do is have knee issues. So I'm going to start kind of looking and really looking at how my form is, make sure that I'm not getting out of the groove with my knees. My knees are tracking properly. But with all that said, I basically shut it down for that squat, which I didn't have, like I said before, I didn't have any goals in mind that I have to hit. I definitely would like to have hit 650 or so and then kind of shut it down after that. But 600 was good, warmed me up, went straight to deadlifts, 315, all the way up to 735. Was very tempted after the first one to go to 745 and then maybe 755. But during the process, I kind of thought, if I did that, that would mean that if I did 3 singles, 735, 45, 55, that means next week I'd have to go 765, 3 singles. And I thought that probably wouldn't be the smartest approach to my training because I'm kind of flying solo right now. I'm just feeling things out, having some fun with it, not really having any goals or meets in mind. So I'm kind of going off program, if you will, and just trying some things out, trying, see what kind of stimulus might work to kind of wake these legs up a little bit because I really want to catch these legs up to a higher total. Still working on bench, but bench is, obviously in the 5s right now, so it's not taking a heck of a lot out of me, until we get up to the 600s. That's when I start worrying about legs affecting my energy level, and I might have to either stretch my weeks out or drop some legs off, or maybe do a heavy squat day and then do a lighter deadlift day on the same week. And you've seen me do that before, you guys. but felt pretty good. I actually, the first one, it flew. Second one just absolutely annihilated it. I had, already felt it, so I was confident that I was going to nail it again. And then the third one, I basically, well, the second one I got caught talking between the first and the second, so I got a little bit cold. I was looking at the clock, and I was about 5 minutes later than I would have liked, because I like to do maybe 10 minutes between each attempt. So I went about 15 on this between the second and the first and the second. Which was fine. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but I think it fatigued me. That second one definitely fatigued me. And the third one, I was really wanting to make it fly, and it just didn't go as fast as I thought it would go. But looking back on the 725, even the 705 reps, I'm just taxed by that time. Even though it feels good to do that weight and it feels like it's moving fast, my energy is depleted by the third rep. So just keeping that in mind, I'm glad I didn't go 735, 45, 55, because that 755 would have been an RPE 10 for sure, and there's no way I would have wanted to do another one. And I definitely would not want to go to 765 the next week. I'm just not ready for that. And so the takeaway I want to use my training for you guys to learn is, even though I may not be able to pull 800 today, doesn't mean I'm not strong. And so the same thing, like I could bench 600 right now, but for me to try 675 or a really, really high number like 95 and plus percent is ridiculous to try to do year round. And so a lot of you guys I know do that in your training. And so let's say you're trying to go for a 225 bench and you're always hitting 215, 225 to try to break that 225, you're not gonna get it. And if you do, you're not gonna get the next level up, which is 315 or whatever your particular plateau is. That'd be like me trying to go a 675 bench every week. It's just, it takes so much out of me. It's just not gonna work. So what I'm playing is the long game here. I'm looking at, maybe a couple of months, 3 months possibly, and having, building up to that 800, either for a double or even a single, which would still be a PR. But as of right now, today, my strength level is being limited by me, not by what I think. I could definitely pull 770, 780 today, but what would I do next week? I'm not going to go 790. And if I did, I need to be doing it in a meet. So that's kind of how training works, just progressive overload using sub-maximal weights. But anyways, I ranted a little bit long, but I wanted to cover that for you guys because I know some of the talks that I've done in the past on my recaps have been very informative, and I really appreciate this platform to be able to talk to you guys. If y'all are new to the channel, definitely go ahead and like this video if you liked it. Please share it with your friends. The subscriber count is growing by the day. I really appreciate you guys, just tuning in and trusting me, especially those guys and the gals that have trusted my programs on my website and my coaching, benchonly.com. So if you guys are looking for something to help you out, obviously you can follow the channel and kind of see what I do, but at the same time, I'm doing things at more of an elite level specific to me. And if you want something that's a little more approachable by most people, my programs are built just for that. And obviously, if you need something a little more custom, my online coaching, if you can, invest in that, obviously it's a little more expensive, but you get your money's worth, I'll tell you that much. But anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Subscribe to the channel, like I said, if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next week. Oh, by the way, I'm on Instagram. Find me over there. Follow me at Swimhack. Have a good week, guys.